In a world full of competition and athletics, one podcast will nerd the fuck up about it. Or fuck out, not up. That's right, it's Neon Pocket Dimension. I'm hosting, I haven't done that in a while. I said the wrong word. I have a piece of paper taped behind my my little thing here. Because it reflects my kitchen. Actually, if you noticed, I'm not in the studio today, and that's kind of fun. But this is a podcast. Thanks for joining us. My name is Jacob. I'm joined by Miguel. Hello, Miguel. There he is. He's waving.
How's everybody?
I hope well. In the comments below, let us know. How are you doing? Happy Olympics week. We're doing an Olympics episode. That's what you're here for. I hope you clicked on the video.
I hope so.
You might be
just here to hang out, dude.
I mean, if you are here to hang out, I get it. We're pretty fun to hang out with. You're fun to hang out with too. Oh, we're pretty.
Oh yeah.
How do you say pretty in Spanish again? Hermosa? Hermoso? Is that wrong?
Yeah, that work.
Is that
I
right?
would say we're guapo.
Guapo. Guapo. Nice.
Guapo.
You think that's where they got the name Poe from in Star Wars: The Force Awakens? Because he's a handsome guy.
Not.
He's a handsome man. You think Oscar Isaac's a handsome man? Mochi Squeeze, she's sitting next to me.
Dude.
There you go. That's 3 for 3. We're all nodding. Did you nod or did you shake your head?
Yeah.
She nodded. Yeah. Does he have zaddy?
Guy.
Does he have zaddy energy or like handsome guy energy?
I don't like that term.
Perfect.
He's just a handsome dude. He's a handsome motherfucker.
I mean, he's getting older, so that's the only reason why I asked that. You know, because he's got the gray in the beard, and you know, people say that
Well,
about.
I guess what makes you a zaddy? At what age are you a zaddy?
That's actually a good question. Let us
Right?
know in the let us know in the comments below. What age do you have to be a zaddy? We want to know.
Is there no limit? Like once you have like a kid, you can just be a zaddy at that point, right?
That's true. Like, could you be a 21-year-old zaddy? 50? Joy's saying 50 right here. Mochi Squeeze.
Okay, so then I guess the question is, do you have to have kids to be a zaddy?
Do you have to have kids to be a zaddy? There's a lot of zaddy questions, so I really hope that you guys give us all the answers we need. You can also reach out to neonpocketdimension@gmail.com. Send us all your comments, all your suggestions, everything that you have to email to us. You can email us some fan art. You know what I mean? Who knows? Might end up on a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? One day.
Very true.
I am wearing my Neon Pocket Dimension shirt today. I felt like representing the colors. It's the Olympic week. It's Olympics episode. I'm like, this is the colors that we fly for us, right? So I put this shirt on.
What color is it?
It's black, but it also has these colors.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
WYBNOO shirt.
Oh yeah, it's the NPD shirt. But yes, I'm downstairs. Oh, my camera's focusing. I'm downstairs today because I felt like, hey, why not have the Olympics on while we're doing an episode on the Olympics? And you know, we got Mochi Squeeze in the background here, so I can ask her some questions. She can give her comments from the peanut gallery. Miguel, I know that you're always in your normal streaming location, and that's okay. There was no homework assignment. That's totally fine.
I will say that I assume you guys are watching on Peacock.
Well, we sure are. That's correct.
See, I do not have Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not really been watching.
It is on Hulu, especially if you have the live TV package.
Which I do not.
Right. So, might find it difficult. I don't know if it's just like on there though. It might also just be on there.
I don't think it is because every time I turn Hulu on, there's no mention of it. So.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it is.
I haven't been watching, but I have been tracking the medal count, which I find interesting.
Yeah, and
I'm a little
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say I'm a little disappointed that we don't have as many golds, but I think overall we're doing pretty well I think we're leading the medal count right now by 4. And we
Yes.
have 30 total.
That is 100% correct. So honestly,
that makes me happy.
Golds aren't everything. You know what I mean? So as long as you,
oh
you
no,
know what I mean?
Are. We should have the most medals, and they should all be gold.
And they should all be gold. Okay, that's a bold statement. It's really hard to get a medal at all. So like, I'm cool with us having quantity over. Well, it's hard to say quantity over quality because they're all quality. But just for the sake of the phrase,
look at France. France has 8 gold medals.
Okay.
And they're only behind us by 4 medals total.
Hey, France has home team advantage, all right? They have home field advantage.
Because they didn't even have to qualify for any of the sports, right?
I mean,
so if I'm not mistaken, when you're the host country, your athletes automatically get to participate.
So, that's actually really interesting. I didn't even know if that's true. Did not know that. We'll look that up.
If I'm not mistaken, yes, you don't even have to qualify. You just get to participate regardless.
That's really interesting.
That may be why, but
possibly. I mean, because someone could have a bad day but still be like the person that was meant to get the gold medal, right? And you could not qualify, right? Because you had a bad day or whatever. So that, I mean, that's apt. That's apt. What I will say is that this Neon Pocket Dimension, it's a place to get nerdy. A place to come with all your nerdiness. Nerding out on stats for sports is something that we're definitely going to probably do. We were just talking about stats right now. We're going to nerd out a little on history and stuff like that. But just remember, that's what this is. We talk about anime and like cartoons as well as sports sometimes. We did a political episode recently. Anything you could nerd the fuck out on, and I think that us talking about medal counts is pretty nerdy. So that fits a bill.
You should definitely go back and watch all of those.
Absolutely. And I do intend on us doing a Winter Olympics episode in 2 years' time. So then when that happens, you can come back and watch this one. But I digress. If you are from the future, what up? I bet that Winter Olympics episode is pretty cool. Just saying. I don't know.
Awesome.
I feel like it's also from downstairs, but who knows? I can't tell. I'm not from the future. I'm from now. I did tape a piece of paper here because it reflects my entire kitchen, and Moji squeezes in there like chomping on dinner and stuff like that. So I want to give her the privacy of a piece of paper, which I will rip off, and you can see the great reveal of whatever the fuck this cool piece of art is in just a moment. But before we get any further, let's get into our titular WYBNOO, which stands for What You've Been Nerding Out On. It's our segment where we talk about what we've been nerding on in the past week. Pretty sure you know what I'm going to talk about, so let's start with you.
Have I been nerding out on? Mass Effect 2. I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 2. Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't remember how annoying the scanning planets was. Pretty annoying. But overall, it's not too bad. I'm still having a good time with it. I still like it. So I've been doing that. What else have I been doing? Well, we helped Polly Pocket. I helped Polly Pocket last week. That's why I wasn't on. Get her mom moved to the Philippines, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then I haven't really been doing a whole lot, to be honest with you. I've just been kind of hanging out.
Nice.
I can't think of anything else that I did.
We played D&D on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. We played D&D on
Saturday. Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, yeah. That was fun.
That was interesting.
We did our opening ceremony stream, which was fun, too.
Yes, which I blacked out, and you guys took over, which is great, and I appreciate that.
Were drunk.
I was fucking shit-faced.
We're done, dude.
But I thought I had fun from what I remember. I think you guys had fun. I think that was a really good time. And, whenever we have, like, cool special event ideas, the way we set up this couch was, like, really cool, right? Like, did you dig the setup?
I think it worked out really well, to be honest with you.
Cool.
And it allowed you to go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a couch. It's a couch already. Hilarious.
So,
Yeah, love it.
But I will say I am currently nerding out on the Google Doodle of the day,
Okay.
which is essentially a Where's Waldo
No way.
for the for the Olympics. Yes, it is. It's Where's
Oh
Waldo.
my God. Let me pull this up right now. Let's take a look.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
look at
not it.
that.
Oh, that one's old.
Oh, this one's old? What do I do? Just go to.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one's
okay. I'm
super old,
sorry.
dude. There you go.
Wow, I just typed in
There's that.
Google Doodle. Okay, wait. I think the music is playing, but this probably won't get claimed. You know.
You can
Let's
turn
let's
it
turn the
off.
music off. All right. All right. What do we got here? We gotta find a soccer person. We gotta. What? Oh, handball. I think that's the handball person. We were just talking about this sport.
You were
That's been
just
really
talking about
interesting to
handball.
me. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can find any Miguel. Let's. What do you got? What do you got? Eyes on here. Well, okay. Look, there's
Oh,
this guy. Oh, you can move. Oh, dude, bro.
you can
Okay.
zoom out, dude.
Oh,
Zoom out.
oh my God, this is amazing. All
It's a
right.
really cool Google Doodle.
Yeah, you
I'm
weren't
having a good
kidding.
time with it. So.
You weren't kidding. But, Joy, you're gonna have to get on this shit. There's a Google Doodle that is a Where's Waldo. It's pretty amazing.
Essentially, just Where's Waldo? Yeah.
Oh
Oh
man,
wait, is it called what's goal ball?
is that what it is?
Goal ball is a Paralympic sport
Oh, well maybe that
that I've
is what
never
it
heard
is.
of. Very
Interesting.
interesting.
Well, hey, we're gonna get into that in just a second. We're gonna do some searching. We're gonna look through sports. I think that part's gonna be really fun. Before we then just start pulling up funny clips and shit. Um,
Oh shit. Okay. So you guys are
wow, look
probably
at this.
you were watching handball. Goal
Yes.
ball is a team sport designed specifically for athletes with a vision impairment.
Oh wow. Huh.
Oh,
Oh, I see. Because he has like sunglasses on to signify that he's blind. That makes
that's
sense.
pretty interesting.
That is
I've
interesting.
never heard of that.
And it has like a hint on each of them. So maybe when you
Yeah.
actually click on it, it like will tell you like what it is or whatever. Oh, I found one of the guys. Let me click on him. There you go. Water polo. There it is. Most searched Olympic water sport. Interesting. Well, what's fun about watching it on, of course, Peacock is it tells you all the fucking sports. I mean, well, not if you're watching it live, I guess, but it's cool that you can like click on an all sports thing. It brings up a full matrix of sports, and then you can click on it, and it'll show all of the related events. So there you go. I mean,
Okay.
okay. Swapping to my WYBNOO, it's Olympics,
Yes.
Olympics, Olympics. Ever since the opening ceremony, it's all I've been doing. Besides, I mean, I'm like gaming, but I'm also watching. I'm at work. I'm watching. Just today, I was watching men's saber finals, or excuse me, men's team saber finals, which is a fencing event. That's like saber's really crazy. Where like, and we'll get into this in just a sec, but like, what makes saber cool is that instead of just poking them with the fencing foil, it's a saber, so you hit them with any side of it. So it's actually
Yep.
the most like high energy fencing, because like they're just like whipping it around and trying to. They could either poke it, whip it, they could do anything. So pretty crazy. Definitely watch some
Who
beach
won that?
volleyball. I'm actually not done with that, but I know that France won the bronze. And what's cool about the fencing event right now is that in France they have like the biggest. It's almost like a cathedral size building essentially that they've turned into a fucking fencing hall, and it's like apparently the biggest, like most grand arena for fencing. And so it's like loud as fuck. So loud to the point where like sometimes the people fencing can't even hear like the referees because they have to tell them stuff. Like they have to tell them to like, well, they say it in French or whatever, but they're like, all right, on guard. All right, get ready. All right, go. That's pretty much what they're doing. And like they'll do that, and then one of the guys will start, and the other guy didn't hear him because like the crowds are just going crazy, and there's so much acoustics in there. So it's like pretty insane. But I've seen a lot of stuff, kayaking. I saw the shotgun shooting. I think that's actually happening again right now. I saw archery. I saw all sorts of sports like volleyball, beach volleyball, you name it. Like I've been watching all sorts of shit. It's pretty crazy. In the world of video games, though, I did play Visions of Mana demo yesterday. And if you know me, you know I'm excited for this game. It's fun. I'm going to still buy it. But that being said, there's some downsides to the game. I figure I just want to like get that out there. Like the game looks cool. Like the art design is great. The environments are fun. Like it's like a painting. You know, it's like very colorful. I think that's refreshing for games because especially playing like Elden Ring and stuff. It's just so dark and dreary. Although still
Yeah.
like captivating like fantasy paintings, but Visions of Mana is like just really pretty and colorful and like magical looking. But they need more graphical enhancements in this game, I swear. Cuz like even like I know I was playing it in 1080p, but like give us some like texture filtering and stuff, make it look more sharp. Looks kind of flat and washed out. The lighting isn't that great. So that's kind of a drawback of the game. I could see that being a turnoff. And then the camera is not great, you know. So that's sort of also a drawback of the game. So I could see those two things like marks against it, at least for my fantasy score, because it's locked in. But like overall, like I was having fun with it, and I'm
I
still
was gonna
excited to
say
play the game.
that's more what I meant. Like at the end of the day, I think you're still gonna play it regardless, right? Like it
I'm
doesn't
still gonna
matter
love it, yeah.
that it has those things.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're probably you're looking at it more like, oh, how many points am I gonna get? And at the end of the day,
Well,
who cares?
yeah. I'm just looking at it more of like just being critical of it, like literally
Yeah.
like it's fun, it's cool, like I'm intrigued at like the class system because like you get these elemental vessels that you can equip on one vessel per person, and when you do that you now get a new class on that character, and then the class will get like new abilities and stuff like that, and so you can mix and match, and that seems really interesting. And there's actually a lot of classes because of that, because there's just a ton of different combinations. And if you're into the previous mana games, like there's so many references to the old games in there. It was just very delightful. You know what I mean? I'm just like I'm looking at this game and I'm just like it's not up to 2024 standards graphically, and like the camera is kind of not great. But like if you could just look past those things, I think you'll love this game. Like honestly, so I'd still recommend it to action RPG fans, like Kingdom Hearts fans especially would love this game. It's got that kind of vibes. And then of course, if you've played any of the mana games in the past, I think you'll enjoy it. But also, there's no multiplayer, and some old mana games had multiplayer. So just putting that out there. I loved it. I thought it was great,
I didn't know
but
that.
just have to like give the feedback of like, well, they could have had like because when you go into a PC game, there's like all these settings, and in this game, it's like high, medium, low, resolution. Is it a window or is it full screen? Like it's very rudimentary. So you know, I don't know. Maybe they'll improve that part of it later. And a friend of mine also saw it on PS5 and was like, it's kind of like lackluster, but just the graphical like technical shit. Like I said, the art design and like presentation and the colors and the character designs, like all that stuff is dope. So those are my thoughts on that. And then besides that, uh, shit, what other game? Oh, I played that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 game because it's on Game Pass. It was kind of fun. I can't lie.
Okay.
I was like, well, okay, I could shoot some kids. But I'll tell you what I did, Miguel, right away. Turned voice chat off and did not even turn it on. And I'm going to leave it off the whole time. I don't want to hear the N word. I don't want to hear any slurs of any kind. I'm gonna rip this off now.
Yeah, I would imagine that it's just a den of shit.
Yeah, it's like Gamer
It's
Gators.
it's so off-putting, dude.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
so off-putting.
No, it really is. And I have
I
friends that
totally get
play,
it.
so
It
yeah.
just
Yeah, it's not at the top
it's
of my
like playing
list.
Overwatch or when I used to play Overwatch.
Oh yeah, it's also toxic chat. But if you thought
So
that
toxic.
if you thought that was toxic, like Modern Warfare is gonna be like tenfold toxicity.
Oh, it's
So
10 times worse. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I will say though, I've been getting back into Crusader Kings 3 because of the Olympics. They're in France, so I chose a French ruler to see what I could do, and I'm having a ton of fun. I'll just quickly tell you what happened in that game. I was a king. I had a couple kids. Actually, I may have. Yeah, I had a couple kids. One was a son. He died, and then I didn't have an heir. And so then it was going to pass to someone else, but then I had him murdered. You know what I mean? Like a nephew or something. And so then the first in line became my daughter. And so I've been playing the majority of the game that I've been playing as a duchess, right? And she is just making moves left and right.
Okay.
She's she's very diplomatic, and she's got a ton of friends. She's had 2 soulmates so far, 2 husbands. Both of her soulmates have died. Her sister died. She's had 2 best friends. One was her sister. Both have died. She has a shit ton of kids. She actually had one illegitimate kid with one of her soulmates. And remember, her soulmates were not her husbands. You know what I mean? She's like got her fingers in all the pots. You know what I mean? She's taken over a lot
She's
of
getting
France.
around.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
you might say people have their fingers in her, right?
Hey, they're on her terms, okay? And she's badass. I fucking love playing this character. It's so much fun. I'm just fucking with people left and right. Um, and just slowly like taking over so much of France. But like I want her to be queen of France, but she just doesn't have enough support. And you can't just like immediately war against your king. I tried to just like in a mock save, but they just crushed me. So I was like, because you know you can have too many duke titles or duchess titles, and I'm already at that point where it's like I already have too many vassals now. So I'm like, either I get everyone on my side to like push me up to be the queen, or I just wait for time to pass and more generations to go forward. So she has a lot of kids, which means my dynasty will run deep throughout the generations, because that's how that game works. You know what I mean? You're like one person, it goes to the next person in line, and you just keep going through this thing over the years, and it's like really interesting. Like I love the game. The only problem is it keeps crashing. I hate that. But yeah, it's like it's really fun historical shit. But anyway, that's my WYBNOO. Oh, I made banana bread. I'll just say that too. You know, delicious. Joy's gonna take some for breakfast.
Banana bread is delicious.
That's right. That will conclude our WYBNOO segment. Thank you very much. Kurt, that's right. It's on the shirt. And we need a WYBNOO sticker. You know? That we definitely need. Give that out. You know, $2 a sticker.
I think so, dude. I agree with that.
I agree with that as well. Right now, it looks like beach volleyball's on, so that will be playing while we watch. I think at 8 o'clock is when the primetime coverage starts. So let's get into the Olympics real quick. So first of all, you said you haven't been watching. I've been watching all of it. Like typically the way the coverage works. If you don't know, I'll just put that out there. You know, France, Europe, that area is about like a half of a day ahead of us, I think, right? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
So
yep.
something like that, right? So basically, like during the day while we're at work, essentially like from the early morning until the late afternoon, that's when the Olympics are happening. And then at some point, it stops and then it plays over for everyone in America. So if you're watching live, you could just watch everything live during the day. But then afterward, it becomes like cut up and curated and turned into other videos, like essentially a full like primetime broadcast that they produce on top of like other live feeds that are just replaying the same footage. So that's what's been happening. So if you're lucky enough to catch it live, you can see some crazy shit. Like apparently during one of the surfing events, some guy's pants fell off and his whole ass was out on the camera. Pretty sure that's edited out. That's what Mochi Squeeze is telling me, which is hilarious.
That's funny.
So there is value to it, but like there's so much going on, and there's a lot of channels playing at the same time, and there's just so much footage to root through. Like if you want to watch everything, there's no way you can watch it all live. And like
No,
because I got
absolutely not.
absolutely not, and because I got drunk that one night, I was already behind. So I've been playing catch up since the very beginning. So that's where I'm at. But I just wanted to kind of go over the way that it's broadcast, and like if you have Peacock, you can go back and watch like all the replays. Like, dude, for the next like forever, I could probably just go back and watch these Summer Olympics and just keep watching replays. There's gonna be so much footage; it'll take me forever to get through everything. But we'll see how much of that I actually want to watch. Um, but I digress. Miguel, just want to put that out there. Do you have any like things about the Olympics you want to talk about up top before we get into like all the nerdy shit?
Cared more when I was a kid, to
Okay.
be honest with you, and that's probably because I actually had time to sit and watch
Yeah.
and like pay attention.
Hmm.
But like, not that I don't care now. Like, I still think it's interesting, but
Hmm.
again, I think there's still kind of unless they're showing it on regular NBC,
Hmm.
there's a bit of a what's it called? Like a barrier to entry, right? Like,
Yeah.
so unless you have Peacock, you're not going to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the primetime stuff is probably on regular NBC, and I could probably just toss that on. That'd be fine. But like,
Yeah.
if I want to watch everything, which
Hmm.
I don't,
Hmm.
because I don't care about all the sports, to be honest with you. Like, it's cool that some of these things are sports, but like, do I care? Not really.
Hmm. Right. No, which makes sense, and you're not alone. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. But like the you can look at it like this, right? Like the when it comes to the Summer Olympics, the most important sports to Americans are the ones they play on the primetime broadcasts, and those are the
Mm-hmm.
ones you expect. That's gymnastics. Those are the
Yep.
swimming. Once those are done, I think next week you will get the running ones. Or they call them athletics. We're gonna get into that in a sec. And then maybe later night you might get some of the more like sporty stuff, like 3-on-3 basketball is playing. They also have just like actual basketball with our USA team, volleyball, beach volleyball, men's and women's for everything, all that type of shit. It's more front facing, but there are a lot of weird things too. Like, I mean, I wouldn't call canoeing weird, but it's definitely unique and interesting, more niche. Even more niche uh, was windsurfing and skiff racing, like boating. That's happening. Like I had to really dig for that, and shit like that. Um, but then I also really like the fact that they have like skateboarding and surfing, and those are on the E channel, which I find to be really interesting. That it's the E channel that has those kind of X
Oh, E
Games.
has those
Yeah,
sports.
like
Oh,
entertainment.
interesting.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
the stuff that would be on MTV like 10, 15, 20 years ago, it's all on E for some reason. So,
that's weird. Yeah, that's very strange.
Mochi Squeeze said there's a lot of butts in diving. Yeah. Let's
Yeah, of
talk.
course.
Let's talk about that really quick.
Sometimes there's nipples. Watch them
sometimes,
live.
sometimes you see some
Sometimes there are
live
nipples.
nippies, but of course that's why you got to watch it live. To see the nips. But she's been
Yep.
talking about how like the swimsuits this year are more revealing of the butts and stuff like that, right? Um, I saw a Reddit post talking about this, and apparently, like some countries and stuff were going against the IOC, the people who organize all this, and saying like, you should let us wear more skimpy stuff if we want to. You know what I mean? And so like that's part of it. And then also like someone who actually was like a diver that was chiming in on Reddit was saying like, well, you want it to be as tight as possible so like it's easier. It's just easier to do the dives or to swim, you know what I mean? So like I mean that's cool. Free the butts. Yes, that's right, Mochi. So you might see more skin, but in the when it comes to beach volleyball, you might see less skin, which I also find fine if they don't want to have to wear like a full swimsuit. There's like leggings and stuff, and then you have those like same Modern Warfare 3 type people out there, all those like misogynistic dudes out there who are all like, oh, they're wearing pants. The liberals are ruining my Olympics. You're also getting those people out there. So,
I didn't know that was a thing.
oh, it's happening. At least on
You
Twitter.
should be allowed to wear whatever the fuck you want.
And that seems to be the case. So I do like that. I'm into it. Thanks for bringing that up, Mochi. Any other side topics before we get into the meat of this discussion?
No, let's go.
All right, cool. I do need to grab another beer, so why don't you give your drink check officially? I do have a fat tire myself. I'm gonna grab a IPA or two.
I am drinking Love Lady, Love Pickle, pickle beer, brewed in Henderson, Nevada, and it's
Oh, no way! It's from Henderson.
yeah, that's where Love Lady's from, dude.
Oh, that's cool. Should
You
check
haven't
out.
had the Ninth Island Sour?
I think you told me about it, but I don't think I've tried it yet.
It's a pineapple sour. It's called the Ninth
Ooh.
Island Sour.
Ooh, I want to try that.
That was actually pretty good.
That does sound good. Mochi Squeeze is kind of getting more into sours lately, so she might want to try it too. I don't know.
She needs to. She's getting there, I think.
I think she's getting there. I agree with that.
She's getting there very slowly.
Yeah, little by little. I mean, she's come a long way. Because back when I met her, she wasn't drinking like IPAs at all or anything like that. So.
Well, to be honest with you, like I'm kind of IPA'd out.
Yeah, I get it.
I haven't been wanting bitter.
Yeah.
But I haven't been wanting sweet, so I've been drinking a lot of sours lately.
There you go.
I mean, it changes all the time.
Yeah, that's what I love about beer. Like with cocktails, they're typically sweet, but they are like, you don't need to drink a cocktail. You can have just something on the rocks, if you want to just drink like whiskey, or you could have like a cocktail that's not sweet, like with just soda water or something like that. So you could already do that with cocktails. But when it comes to things in a can, if it's not beer, it's typically something sweet, like a seltzer or whatever, what have you. Like, I feel like that whole seltzer section of the fucking beer place these days, or the liquor store, is just like sugar, 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 or fake sugar, whatever.
Disagree with that. You can get some stuff that's not that sweet.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, I could be wrong. If that's,
a lot of those seltzers aren't that sweet.
I don't know. I feel like they are to me, but it's because I'm used to beer. But I mean, some beers are sweet too, so I don't know. But I could be wrong. I mean, I'll try more seltzers. I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, what I like about beer is that it's very versatile. There's a lot of different types. So, just putting that out there, baby. I typically my favorite thing to drink is, these days, if it's not an IPA, is maybe like a lager, pilsner, or like a red ale of some sort, or brown ale or something middle of the road. But what they're not doing is drinking beer while playing the Olympics. You know what I mean? They need to drink water. Let's get into the actual meat of this story here. Hopefully you can still hear me and Miguel. I haven't tested these scenes. I see levels, so we must be good. But just to kick things off, like I typically like to structure things these days. Let's talk a little bit about the history of the Olympics. I know that we've done an Olympic episode of Odd Valley. You can go back and see that on our Odd Valley channel, youtube.com/@oddvalleystudios. But that's a show where we get like super trashed, and I don't think I went over like all the stuff that we'll go over here. But I just have some interesting stuff I want to talk about here. So, first of all, the Olympic Games are traditionally dated to 776 BC. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty fucking old. Kind of trips me out. Back then, they were still held every 4 years, which is actually a unit of time called an Olympiad, which I found to be interesting. These Olympiads were referred to based on the winner of their stadium sprint, which I'll get into what that means in a sec. So basically, like the third year of the 18th Olympiad, when Ladas of Argos won the stadion, right? So back in ancient Greece, that's how they would talk about their units of time, at least during that time period. Was like, yeah, it was like the Olympiad where Simone Biles got her sixth gold. Like as if we would do that today, which I find to be really interesting.
Very interesting. Okay.
Right? They continued to be celebrated when Greece came under Roman rule in the 2nd century BC. Also interesting to me. Their last recorded celebration was AD 393, under Emperor Theodosius I. But archaeological evidence indicates that some games were still held after this date as well. The games likely came to an end under Theodosius II, possibly in connection with a fire that burned down the temple of the Olympian Zeus. So remember, another callback, something we talked about before. We did the 7 wonders or the wonders of the world tier list, and we were learning about the temple of Zeus. It basically, like, it getting burnt down basically canceled the Olympics. Pretty wild, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty wild. To the ancient Greeks, it was important to root the Olympic Games in mythology. Obviously, we're talking about the Temple of Zeus. During the time of the ancient games, their origins were attributed to the gods, and competing legends persisted as to who actually was responsible for the genesis of the games. So as you can see, we do have Wikipedia up here because that's where I get my information. But I will keep this symbol or this picture up for ambiance. It's the Palestra at Olympia. Let's see. The prizes for the victors were olive leaf wreaths or crowns. So not medals. There weren't medals. It was you just got a crown made out of olive leaves.
Or money. You got olive leaves. Congratulations.
I mean, I like olives. The Olympics also featured religious celebrations. The statue of Zeus at Olympia was counted as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which we just talked about. Sculptors and poets would congregate each Olympiad to display their works of art to would-be patrons. This is also interesting. A loincloth known as the perizoma was initially worn by athletes at the ancient Olympic Games. So that was it. Just a loincloth.
Do we have a picture of the loincloth? I'd like to see this loincloth.
Let me pull that up now. Perizoma. Oh boy. All right, let's look it.
Now, I assume that it was only male athletes. I could be. That looks like a thong.
It does look like a thong.
I don't think that's an accurate photo of what they would have worn.
I mean, that's part of it. Okay, here you go. Here's some actual Greek pottery.
Yeah. Some pottery, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that first one, dude. Oh, that's great. Archaeological evidence from late 6th century BCE reveals athletes sporting this garment during competitions. For most of its history, Olympic events were performed in the nude, actually. There you go. They get fully nude. Pausanias says that the first naked runner was Orsippus, winner of the Stadion race in 720 BC, who simply lost his garment on purpose because running without it was easier. Okay, sure. The 5th century BC historian Thucydides credits the Spartans with introducing the custom of publicly stripping and anointing themselves with oil in their gymnastic exercises. Formerly, even in the Olympic contests, the athletes who attended wore belts across their middles, and it is but a few years since that the practice ceased. So there you go. They were naked a lot, and they may have just had a belt on only, which is kind of interesting. So.
I'm going to say we should go back to that, right? Sorry. I was having technical difficulties.
No, you're fine. Let's just get nude. You know what I mean? Can I close this? Gosh, get that thong off my screen.
Could you imagine diving?
Diving nude?
Diving or swimming? Do you think like your junk and your titties They would slow you down
Maybe it's possible.
because they're not like contained.
Hmm. You can contain me. I can't be contained. Hold on. I gotta pull up the list of the sports. Is it this one? I think that it would be really interesting if they were competing nude. You know what I mean? But I don't think we could air it on TV in America. I'm gonna be
Well, you
completely
could.
honest.
There'd be that, and then there'd be a bunch of countries who wouldn't compete.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Right?
Because they're not into it.
They wouldn't want to be naked.
They're like, why am I naked, bro? This is not okay. Okay, so I do have a chart here of the original sports. So let's go over those. Fencing nude. Oh, that could be rough. You could get a cut.
It'd be fine.
Let's see. All right, so I wanted to look at the actual events of the Olympics, like starting from the first one, right? So let's go through those. Okay, so the very first ever like sport at the Olympics was called the Stade. We've been talking about that. That literally was just a square, or was like a stadium, right? Basically, and you would just run around it. That was it. So it was running. That's all the Olympics started as, right? Just running. Then there was the Dialulos. So there was just like a stadium where you'd run around in circles. Then there was this one, right? Which was a double pipe. So essentially you would run like to the end and then back and then the end and then back. So it's kind of like what they do with swimming nowadays. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Ancient Olympic Games. That's the one. Here we go. Events. Fuck. Here's the list. God. All right. I got it. I found the chart. Then there was the long distance race, the Dalachos. Right. So I think that was the course would often flank important shrines and statues. Okay. So essentially, you would run through the city, like so it was like a marathon, essentially.
It was about 3 miles only, though, which is very interesting.
Yeah, which is, I mean, how far is that? Is that like
It's a 5K,
it's a
pretty much.
5K? So okay,
Yeah,
so
it's less than a
fucking
5K.
5K pretty much came from the 15th, so 720 BC. That's insane.
So they were running that. They were running for like a half hour, and that was it. Games are over.
Yeah. Well, they probably did like multiple rounds of it. You know what I mean? I would assume. But who knows? I didn't read that part. Then there was a pentathlon and wrestling added three what do they call them? Olympiads later. 12 years later, they added the pentathlon and wrestling. We know what those are. And the 23rd event, boxing. Then they added four horse chariot race. These are all, these are all in Greek, so I'm not going to read that part. There was a normal horse race, right? Which we were just watching the other day, the cross country race. You can watch that during the Summer Olympics. Then they did boys stade and wrestling. So I wonder if that's like youngsters.
Yeah,
Right?
I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the next one, which I think is interesting, is they did boys pentathlon,
Mm-hmm.
and they discontinued it the same year. I wonder if someone died.
Some child must have died. Yeah, probably. Then boys boxing, which they didn't discontinue. They're like, go ahead and punch each other. The hoplite race, which is yeah, I was like, aren't hoplites like soldiers? So they must have had soldiers doing foot races, basically. Let's see. Unlike the other
Interesting.
races, which were generally run in the nude, the hoplitodromos required competitors to run wearing the hopla, the helmet, greaves, and heavy shield, from which a hoplite infantryman took its name. Whoa! So they would just
Okay.
straight up be like running wearing armor. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and clothed,
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
naked.
Also strange. It's not. It's not naked enough. Let's see. Then they had a mule cart race, a mare horse race. Let's see what other ones. More races with carts. 2-horse chariot race, which is different than the 4 one. So they're kind of doing the same thing that we do now, where we like have similar events, but we sort of differentiate them by like a slight variance.
Yeah,
Competition for heralds and trumpeters. What the fuck? So the herald and trumpet contest was added, which was already a formal element of the Olympic ritual performed by the heralds and trumpeters. Winners were chosen by the clarity of the enunciation and the audibility of their voice or horn blast. That's
very
cool.
interesting.
That's really cool. The Telthrippin for horse over 1 year. I don't know what the hell that means. Chariot for horse over 1 year. Wait, so does it did it take a whole year to do?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Very
I
interesting.
have to look further into that later. Race for horses older than 1 year. Wow. Okay. So it's like the horse had to be a like
At
not
least one.
a young horse, and then
Yeah.
pankration for boys. Let's see what the hell that even means. Unarmed combat sport. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh shit, like MMA. Like their version of MMA. Not even wrestling. Huh.
Can you imagine your junks hanging out? It's just like flapping in the wind.
That sounds great. I love that. Um, cool. So there you go. Pretty fun. After a while, essentially, it ended. Like I said, 393 AD. But the games did come back eventually. Um, like way later. Like I think the 14th century, I believe, is what it was saying. And then from then on, it just slowly evolved over time. You know, they brought it back, they made it worldwide, and then they just started adding sports and dropping sports, all that fun stuff. So let's get into the actual sports themselves. So the only summer sports that have never been absent from the Olympic program are athletics, and athletics meaning track and field, basically,
Hmm.
aquatics, swimming, cycling, fencing, and gymnastics. So, really interesting. We were just talking about the primetime sports. They include pretty much all this stuff, except for maybe cycling and fencing. But maybe those will even be in there. Who knows? Um, so I did pull this bit here I wanted to read. Early Olympic Games prior to World War One include 8 sports that have since been discontinued from the Olympics. Basque pelota, croquet, jeu de paume, polo, rackets, roque, tug of war, and water motorsports. So let's look at those really quick.
Motorsports.
Oh yeah, Basque pelota. Uh, so yeah, it's that like Spanish sport where you hit balls against the wall with the racket. You ever seen that one?
I have.
Yeah, I think we have. There's this like park right next door that like has this. I think, which is interesting. It has like a bunch of sport
Or something
little
very
centers.
similar to it, probably.
Yeah, probably. The term pelota probably comes from the vulgar Latin term pilota, ball game.
Oh,
That's interesting. like playing with your testicles.
yeah, with the
Yeah.
balls. We're playing it with a pair of balls. That's why it was
that's
vulgar.
that's interesting. So played in Spain and France, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, and Cuba. What? It's also seen in Florida, Connecticut, Nevada, and Rhode Island. That's pretty cool. Jai Alai. What the hell is that? Oh, okay.
I
So
lied. Yeah, you don't remember that one?
no, I don't know.
It was big in Miami.
Oh,
Which movie was it? I think it's one of the Godfathers. They're playing that in there. It
oh
might be the second
yeah.
one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
They
Oh yeah,
wear
it's got
the
that thing. Yeah, you're right. It is. I think
hand
it is
thing.
the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's the second one.
they play that in
They
Nevada
put a
apparently,
coupon. This one, no, they don't play this here.
according to Wikipedia. Just saying.
The other one, dude,
No, it
you're
says right here.
mistaken.
Operated as a gaming enterprise called Jai Alai, it is seen in parts of the U.S. such as Florida,
Oh,
Connecticut, Nevada, and Rhode Island. See?
I wonder if
So,
that was in the 50s, though.
yeah,
No
it's
one cares
probably
about that
not
shit
happening
now.
anymore. Also, we had croquette, or croquet, I think, which is if
Okay,
watch fucking Alice in Wonderland. All right, you'll
Alice
figure
in Wonderland.
figure that shit out. Um, what's this one? Jeu de paume. What is that? Court tennis? Oh, okay, so a type of
Nowadays
tennis.
known as real tennis.
Hmm. That's interesting. So I guess it looked like this back in the day. It's a pretty different version of tennis. It's like there's like walls involved. Polo, which is now you have versions of polo that are played, but this is like the horse version, which is probably just too dangerous, honestly, just to all be on horses crashing into each other. Um,
That's a 2013 photo there, friend.
I mean, I'm just saying that they probably just don't do it in the Olympics for that reason. Who knows? I could be wrong.
Possibly. Or honestly, I
This
don't think
is
it's that popular.
this is a rich kid sport. Let's get that shit right.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what
Mochi
I was
said,
trying to get
yeah.
at. That's not for everybody, dude. Even though
Definitely
I
not.
would
Yeah.
argue rowing is also a rich kid
No,
sport.
you're right, and they do have that, and I was watching it, and it
But
was
rowing
pretty
is still in the
fascinating.
Olympics.
Yeah,
It's a
rowing
good
is in there.
workout.
Yes, she said. Rackets, which is, I mean, is kind of another tennis thing, but it seems like more ridiculous. What do you do? Just hit each other with rackets? I don't know. Roke? What the fuck is this? Roke is played on a hard sand or clay 30 by 60 foot court bordered by a boundary wall, a curb beveled at the ends to form an octagon. Players use this wall to bank balls similarly to how billiard balls are played off the cushion of a billiard table. The wickets,
Interesting.
called arches, are permanently anchored in the court. The arch is narrow, as in professional six-wicket croquet. So that's interesting. So it's like a big ass
Okay.
billiards.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
billiards, but really large.
okay, how do
Tug
you?
of war, everyone knows
Yeah,
what
how
that
do you
is.
feel about this though? Do you feel like they should bring tug of war back? Because that would be interesting.
No.
I would watch that. I'd watch that shit.
It would just be a bunch of buff dudes trying to pull a bunch of other buff dudes.
Yeah,
No.
just give it to me.
I don't care.
Give me.
I don't give a shit.
Give me.
There's no skill in that.
They're also saying boat racing, a form of boat racing was happening back then, but that's still happening. So, organizers were able to decide which sports or disciplines were included on the program from 1896 to 1920, with the IOC taking control of the program in 1924. So IOC still in control to this day. As a result, a number of sports were on the Olympic program for relatively brief periods. Of the 8 discontinued early Olympic sports, some of them were in, some were out over time until they were fully out, essentially. 5 early Olympic sports that were removed managed to come back, such as archery, tennis, curling, golf, and cricket, which cricket's coming back in 2028. Further, 3 other early Olympic sports returned in a different format from which they were originally competed in: handball in 1972 as indoor handball instead of field handball, which we were just talking about. That's what they're actually playing. Rugby in 2016, which is sevens instead of union. Lacrosse, which is coming back in 2028, which is cool.
Interesting.
Here's the other interesting thing I was reading. The Olympics included one or more demonstration sports for most of the 20th century, normally to promote a local sport from the host country or to gauge interest in an entirely new sport. Some such sports, like baseball and curling, were later added to the official Olympic program in 92 and 98, respectively. The competitions and ceremonies in these sports were identical to the official Olympic sports, except that medals were not counted in the official record. So that's kind of dumb. On some occasions, both official medal events and demonstration events have been contested in the same sport at the same games. Due to logistical issues, the International Olympic Committee decided in 1989 to eliminate demonstration sports from the Olympic Games after 1992. An exception was made in '08 when the Beijing organizing committee received permission to organize a wushu tournament. And then I also found this a little bit interesting. Women first competed in 1900 Olympic Games. They did croquet, sailing, tennis, golf, and equestrian. With the addition of women's boxing in 2012 and women's ski jumping in 2014, women can now compete in all Olympic disciplines except for Greco-Roman, wrestling, and Nordic combined. There are also two women-only disciplines: rhythmic gymnastics and artistic swimming. So that's why it feels probably like a lot of the female Olympic sports are still getting started. It's because they weren't allowed to fucking compete for so long, you know. And I feel like it's an exciting time to watch women in the Olympics right now because they are setting records and like all of the sports are growing and stuff like that. Miguel, your camera is dead.
I know. I don't know if you can hear me, to be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's okay. I just threw that out there. So that I thought those things were interesting, at least to say out loud. There's also been a bunch of changes. I figured we can go over these things, but essentially, I know Mochi Squeeze was telling me like they could like add a sport every so often or something, like whoever the host country is. What I was reading wasn't exactly correct. She said the host country can add a non-Olympic sport. I think I pulled this bit because, at least according to Wikipedia, it was a little bit different from when I was reading. So, on February 21st, 2019, the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee announced they would propose the inclusion of breakdancing, as well as skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. All four sports were approved during the 134th IOC session in 2019. In June 2021, IOC issued a proposal for a new winter sport, ski mountaineering, for the 2026 Winter Olympics, and that was approved. IOC designated skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing to be core summer sports starting in 2028, raising the number of core sports to 31. On October 16th, 2023, the IOC approved the additional 5 optional sports in the 2028 Olympics: baseball, softball, cricket, flag football, lacrosse, and squash, while breakdancing was dropped, which is sad because it hasn't even happened yet. And it's only going to happen this year. So I think there's a little bit of conflicting information. I'm not exactly certain about that, but it seems like all the time they're allowing sports and they're not allowing sports. I don't know if it's true that it's fully like about the host country or if it's really the IOC and people proposing things to the IOC and them saying sure during this but not during that, and this and that. Some are new, some are not. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to put this in there. So if it seems really confusing, from what I'm reading, it is fucking confusing. But I just like what I'm watching. Like, I like watching skateboarding. I thought that was cool. I loved watching surfing. So I'm glad they made those fucking permanent. But like, just because breakdancing won't be there next Summer Olympics doesn't mean it's out forever. If it's a huge hit, they could put it in there permanently. We don't know.
I was gonna say, and when you say permanently, like that doesn't mean anything either because it can
Right.
easily change.
I mean, I just sat here and read so many fucking changes through like hundreds of years.
If I'm not mistaken, was baseball not an Olympic sport at one point?
Oh, right now it's not. It's going to be an optional. Like it can be in the 2028, but it's optional.
It went away because I think one of their reasonings was like not enough people cared about it.
Right.
So,
which is sad.
They got rid of it.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
I guess that makes sense.
Those things where I think they just kind of go with what's in fashion.
Yeah. They don't need to waste their time with stuff, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So but the whole idea of like the demonstration sport was interesting to me. Here's a chart of demonstration sports. Let's look at those really quick. Cycle polo, dueling, I mean, what is dueling? Is that where you do the pistol dueling? Yeah. Look,
It'd be cool.
in 1908, they had fucking pistol dueling, dude.
It was probably like paintball, dude. It was like paintball.
I hope so.
That's awesome. They should bring that back.
They should bring that back.
They should bring that back. That'd be
I would
great.
watch that. They got Glima type of wrestling. I've never heard of that. Korfball. What the fuck is korfball? That's interesting. It's a
Never heard
Dutch
of it.
ball sport with similarities to netball and Oh,
Yes.
oh yeah. John Oliver
looks like
was talking
soccer.
about this.
Yeah. I was going to talk about that. I'm sure you watched it this weekend, the World Games.
Yes, the World Games. This is played at the World Games.
Yeah, and what was it? The sport that he wanted to bring in was like.
It was the knife game, the knife thing. Let me look it up.
I don't remember the name of
Knife
it.
sports.
I was trying to look it up.
A
Like,
cut.
Is it knife sports? Yeah.
Oh come on!
That's what it is.
There we go. Blade sports.
Yeah, blade sports.
Fuck yeah, I
was like, how cool would that be,
dude? We gotta look at this. Let's see if we can find a quick video. We might get claimed for this a little, but we're boosting your signal, okay? Let's watch this guy do some knifing. Yeah, I mean, dude, I would watch the absolute fuck out of this, dude. I would love this shit. I'd be like, go USA, USA. Yeah, they have to use one hand.
How's this judged is what I want to know. Like,
probably like the sharpness of the blade. They probably have to actually look at the damage they did per slash.
Of the cut, right?
Yep.
Like,
probably like how accurate
that,
you are with the slash, like, versus the target, stuff like that. Yeah, man, I'm so glad we're talking about that. But we'll get back to blade sports.
That would be cool.
That would be excellent.
Sports at the World Games.
So like
that, like you said, that's still played at the World Games.
It is, yeah, and I'm actually really excited for the World Games. I think the World Games happen a year after the Olympics, so next year maybe we could do a thing for that too. I would love to do that. That'd be a lot of fun. But I mean, the older I'm getting, like, the more I'm kind of getting into sporting events like this. Like, you know how I'm really into battle bots? I mean, dude, imagine Olympics level battle bots, bro. I would fucking die happy. If someone brought an American gold home from a battle bot fight, I mean, come the fuck on, dude. That's amazing. But I don't know. It's just the competition of it that's just so fun. I mean, even like, what about esports? People are like, watch, esports will be in the Olympics one day. I mean, that'd be ridiculous, but also amazing.
Ridiculous, because there's no athleticism there. Like,
no, you're right.
At least,
of the mind, though.
With blade sports, you're at least like you're cutting.
No, you're right.
Your body.
You are right.
Right.
Dude, what about? Okay, here's my pitch for video games in the Olympics in the future. Right? It's in VR. You know what I mean? You're on a treadmill and you're walking and you're doing stuff, right? So it is physical, but it's in VR. Come on, it could work. But I digress. A couple other demonstration sports: canoeing, kayaking in 1924 Paris, which is now actually an Olympic sport, so that's fun. Volleyball, same thing. Lacrosse, 2028. American football. Yep, that happens here in 1932. Again, remember that the medals weren't like officially counted. And then there's a lot of like regional sports, like these ones from India. Let's see, kabaddi. Looks kind of like a rugby type of picture there.
Is there a ball?
Let's see, it's contact team sport. 2 teams of 7 players. The object of the game is for a single player on offense, referred to as a raider, to run into the opposing team's half of the court, touch out as many players of their team as possible, and return to their own half of the court, all without being tackled by the defenders. It is tag.
It's fucking tag, dude.
It's like tag.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. There's Coco. Let's see, Coco. It is the second most popular traditional tag game. Another tag. Okay. So that's cool. We're getting a lot of tags. And Malakamba, which is whoa. Looks like
What the fuck is going on there?
very artistic.
Yeah.
Mochi Squeeze said they should add something, but I missed it. She'll have to repeat herself in just a moment. Uh, Ultimate Frisbee, she said.
That's
Maybe?
already in there, I thought.
No, Ultimate Frisbee isn't.
Ultimate's in there, I thought.
Okay, wait, I have an official list, so we'll look at that.
Look,
We
because
will
it
in a
was on
sec.
the it was on the Where's Waldo.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, so what I find interesting about these demonstration sports is some of them are now officially in there, so that's pretty cool, including like judo and taekwondo and stuff like that too.
Taekwondo, roller hockey.
Roller hockey, I don't think is. They should do roller derby. Olympic roller derby would be sick as fuck. I can't lie about that. Oh, but see now that demonstration's over, now there's optional, and that's a different chart. So baseball, karate, sports climbing, surfing, skateboarding, breaking, sport climbing, surfing, skateboarding, cricket, flag football, lacrosse, squash. So I think flag football will be really interesting in 2028. And then of course there's some with Winter Olympics. We're not doing the Winter Olympics today. We're just talking all summer Olympics. Let's look at the actual sports, my friend. Um, this is the final section that I have planned. So we got aquatics, artistic swimming, diving, marathon swimming, water polo. All look really difficult. Water polo, dude, I do not know how someone could play that. That shit looks way too difficult. Unbelievably difficult. You know what it is, right?
Idea of what it is.
Yeah.
It also feels like a very a rich person sport.
I mean, you're not anything with polo in the name. Even the
Yeah,
T-shirts, right?
it's very much a like an Ivy League
Hmm.
type of sport.
You're right there. But it's like you gotta literally like swim, but also like your feet can't touch the ground because you're in deep
Yeah.
water, and so you gotta swim around and you gotta like play football in the water. It's like insane.
Yeah.
But okay, what game were you or what sport were you talking about that you thought was in
It was
here?
ultimate.
Frisbee.
It would probably just be called ultimate.
Ultimate. I don't see it in here. I don't see it anywhere. Let me control F. Ultimate. No, there's only one ultimate on this list. So maybe it's part of the Special Olympics. Maybe. You know what I mean? That's possible. Because I know they bundled that in. Mochi Squeeze asks why would it be part of the Special Olympics? Because uh, they need help, so they got to play easier, like, well, not easier games, but like games that they can play, right? Games that are accessible. It's not crazy to think that a game like Ultimate Frisbee could be
So it
playable.
missed out. It missed out on 2024 and 2028. But they are trying to make
Oh,
it one.
oh, okay, all right. So it has been in the Olympics before,
I don't know if it's been in,
or they're
but I
working
think
on
they're
it.
trying to make it one. Yeah.
Okay. So just looking at this sport right here, or this chart, excuse me, the the I think the numbers above are like the year where it showed up. I think. So like this is 1896, not 1996, and this is 2024. So you can actually
Yeah.
see like which years each event was. So that's why I fucking love this table right here. It's pretty cool. So as you can see, since 1904 we've been diving, but we haven't been marathon swimming until 2008, which is kind of crazy. Water polo's been around for a long time, but swimming's been there the whole time. Uh, Sprint canoeing was a demonstration sport and then official in 1936. Cycling, BMX, and mountain bike didn't show up until 1996, which makes sense because
Yeah.
that's when BMX started really happening, is in the 90s, which is really funny. Equestrian actually didn't start till 1912, which is also interesting to me. Well, except for equestrian jumping, which was in 1900. Looks like. Fencing, like I said, I mean, some of these, like we said earlier, are have been there since the very beginning of the resurgence of the Olympics. But gymnastics, artistic gymnastics, is the one, like Simone Biles and stuff. But rhythmic and trampoline didn't start happening until, I mean, what, 1984? I still haven't seen the trampoline events. I really want to see what that's like. She said that's when ribbon dancing was popular. I think that's when ribbon dancing was invented. It was the 80s. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong.
Still popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
They still do it.
I mean, they do. They're gonna do it.
It's the worst.
We're gonna watch them next week.
It is
Yeah.
the worst.
He said it's the worst. Yeah. See, skateboarding and surfing started in 2020. I'm just glad they're in there because it's very, very fun to watch, honestly, both of those. And it's crazy how, like, surfing is, I mean, it's been around for a while, but the skateboarding field, it is like all super young people. And it's like, dude, like 12, 14-year-olds in the Olympics is crazy to me. It's tripping me out. But yeah. So here's the chart. I'll actually link this chart if you're curious. But Miguel, you want to look at any of these events? Take a deeper look. Any of this stuff? Sailing,
Um,
shooting.
Shooting's been around since 1896, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know it.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder what event though. Cause like, okay, see, these are like overarching like categories.
Yeah, it's the overall category. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if I look at an Olympic shooting, I mean events. We got air pistol, air rifle. Those are kind of more new, of course.
Rapid fire pistol,
Yep.
1896.
Now that's a 22. So you're just like bop, 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 bop. Rifle, 3 positions. I think you like literally hold it in 3 different ways. Skeet shooting, which is what I was saying. Okay, see, we were just actually having this conversation, like the shotgun shooting. The event I was watching was called Trap. I didn't really understand what the difference between trap and skeet shooting is, so let's look that up real quick. So when they were doing trap, there was still like something in the air that they were shooting that would like turn into like a mist of pink or something. But let's see what that is versus skeet. So the course of fire is 125 targets in the qualification round for both men and women. Final rules: all types of smooth bore shotguns may be used. Okay. But what exactly is the fucking? Not really explaining it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, international clay pigeon. Okay, I see. So, usually referred to trap, the discipline is also known as a clay pigeon. It is considered more difficult than most other trap versions in that the distance to the targets and the speed with which they are thrown are both greater. So, I mean, but what is it? Trap shooting. Yeah, see, so it's like that's why it's confusing because it's all similar. Like, so trap shooting or clay pigeon shooting is a type of skeet shooting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the same thing. It's just you're at a further distance.
Okay, it explains it here.
And you would be.
Yeah. You're right. Trap shooting is distinguished by the targets being launched from a single house or machine, generally away from the shooter, compared with skeet shooting where targets are launched from 2 houses crossing in front of the shooter. Oh, I see. So actually when you do watch the trap shooting, there's like a box in front of them, and I think it shoots it away from them, so you have to shoot them like going directly away from you. Whereas like, yeah, the clay ones kind of crisscross in front of you, and so you have to like shoot them from the sides. So, okay, there you go. Cleared that shit up. I'm glad we figured that out. But it is similar, obviously, and they both use shotguns, I think. So yeah. But speaking of the air pistol thing, have you ever seen this sport before?
I don't think so.
All right, I got pictures. I have to show you some pictures. I was linking them in the Slack today. But there's one particular shooter that's been kind of a big deal lately, and it's this woman named oh my god, what's her name? Kim Ye-ji. Kim Ye-ji. She's a Korean woman, and she has become like a big deal. So let me pull up this Twitter post. So if you just take a look at her, look at all her like glasses and shit. You know what I mean? Like her glass has like 20 different magnifiers, and people are saying like, "Wow, she's got a vibe, man." You know, she looks tough, but like, look at the way she shoots her little air pistol.
And it's there. It's there.
That's amazing. So much so that like someone drew fan art of her, which I find to be really even funnier. Here's that fan art. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
She was responding on Twitter as well. She's like, if this gets 200,000 likes, I'll show you a video of me shooting an AK-47, which I thought was fucking hilarious. But the air rifle shooting also gave us other funny pictures. Albeit, I don't know if this is air rifle, but we were looking at rifles of different positions. But this woman's tweet, that back tooch, he really served the country. Which I thought was funny too. Let's see, what else did I get? I got some other cool videos as well and pictures. We're just looking through the fun stuff. There's been a lot of celebrities at the Olympics. Of course, I had to post this because this is Gage's celebrity crush. Queen of Naboo cheering for Team USA. Give it up for Natalie Portman, everyone.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see here. What else we have? I found this to be interesting earlier because this is what I was watching. This isn't social media stuff, but I was watching the canoe slalom, which is crazy. Slalom, which I just learned is like, you know that thing when people are skiing and they have to ski through those like two things or whatever.
The gate.
Yeah, the gates or whatever. Okay, so like this is the canoe version of it, and it's like whitewater rafting, and some of them you have to like go upstream and go around, and you get penalized by bumping into shit. So I just want to quickly call out how tough that looked. We're back to social media here. An Italian Olympic silver medalist, Giorgia Via, is sponsored by Parmesan cheese and takes many of her photos while posing with large wheels of cheese. So let's look at her cheese wheel pictures. Here's her on some more Parmesan cheese. I mean, I hope so. I'm sure they can sell that in an auction. she be cheesing. Yeah, and she be cheesing. You know what I mean? But that's amazing. I just loved that. I saw that on Twitter today. It's cracking me up.
That's pretty funny.
Here's a Reddit post. It's definitely not AI. Joy asked. That's real. This is North and South Korean athletes taking selfies together, which is kind of sad, but I just saw it and I found it interesting.
Wait, they have phones in North Korea?
Oh no. I think that's a South Korean person's phone.
The South Koreans taking the photos. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure.
That makes more sense.
I'm sure. I don't think they can. I don't think they have phones.
I'm
out
surprised
there.
they let them out to go compete. To be honest.
Oh, they definitely did. I was actually watching a ping pong match between China and North Korea. I think it was
and it makes you wonder how many
medal.
of the athletes are going to defect after the games are over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, my heart goes out to them because they're in a tough place. It's real tough. Also, of course, the Paris Olympic Games has been hugely
Snoop Dogg.
All about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is all over it. He's a badass. He's been everywhere. He I think it was the beach volleyball one of the matches I watched. He was like their unofficial beach volleyball coach for our team from the U.S. And he's
That's
just
funny.
cracking me up, dude. All these cool pictures of him. So he's been there just classing the place up. And then who could forget from the opening ceremony I blacked out during him holding the fucking torch blunt, which everybody loves. Snoop Dogg with the torch blunt. And then bringing us finally to the last picture I found on social media, back to the air rifle or air pistol stuff, because that is a gold mine of funny pictures. Here's this guy. Turkey sent a 51-year-old guy with no specialized lenses, eye cover, or ear protection, and got the silver medal.
Good for him.
That
Shooting
guy
from the
just
fucking hip.
that guy exactly. That guy just showed up, just a guy with glasses on, and I can't see it right now, but one of the comments, the tweets, the replies was like, "Oh yeah, that guy was a certified retired hitman."
I believe it.
This is fucking awesome, dude. But yeah, good times.
That's awesome, dude.
What's not real? I don't know. She'll respond in a sec. Let's hear. Oh yeah, hitmen aren't real. Remember, if you do find a hitman and you're trying to buy like their services, they're an FBI agent and you're gonna go to jail. Yeah, it's a CIA or the FBI. So never try to fucking hire a hitman ever. But yeah, so overall, I love the Olympics. I'm having a lot of fun right now watching them. Currently, it's straight up USA basketball versus SSD. I don't know what country that is. But it's a good time if you could watch it. You got live TV of any kind. You know, NBC here in Vegas, that's Channel 3. You got Hulu Live or Live TV. You can throw it on. If you have Peacock, that's the nuts. You can watch everything and anything. I'll even pull it up right now, just so you can actually see how cool it is. I'm just doing a straight up ad for fucking. I'm just straight up doing an ad for Peacock right now. I just want to show you how cool it is. You can go to all sports, and then look, here's the full ass list, and it's everything. And like just like we were looking at that chart earlier, you know, like if I click on what is it? Fencing, right? For instance, it's not just one sport. It's like all the fencing. It'll tell you all the stuff coming up, and then all the replays, which I can go back at any later time and just watch all of fencing if I wanted to. And like that is hours of content. Like it's like as if you were sitting in the crowd. You know, like sometimes like instead of commercial breaks, it's like 3.5 hours and it's just big chunks where it's just like a exterior shot of like the venue and you're just sitting and waiting, you know? And so you just gotta like fast forward through it. So it's just like raw footage half the time. But what I like about the Olympics especially is that, you know, the commentators are legit. It's always someone who plays a sport so they can explain it to you. So like even if you don't know what the fuck's going on, they'll be like telling you what's going on. Which is great, but my feedback for you, Peacock and your production team, you need to figure out your audio shit, man. Because half the time I can't, sometimes I can't even hear the commentators because the audio of like the feed is too loud or like there's something going on with their mic or something. I need to figure that shit out. But it's not all the time, but sometimes that happens. But that's all I have to say about that. That actually will be my fucking endorsement for this week. We're in the endorsements now. Peacock, totally worth it for the Olympics, except for the beginning of the Olympics where it was crashing their entire thing. And then also I hate that the app doesn't work on my phone for no reason. It works on everyone's phone. Can't get it to run on my phone. But if it works, it's a good service for the Olympics. Miguel, what's your endorsement for this week?
I'll endorse Love Lady.
Okay, cool. Let me pull that up.
Love Lady Brewing.
Let's see if they have a website.
I'm sure they do.
Brewery. Said brewery tap room. Cool. Nice. Yeah, if you don't know, like, you know, because we live in Vegas, Henderson is just a suburb of Vegas toward Lake Mead and like the dam and stuff. in that direction. You know, we don't live on that side of town, and neither does Miguel. He actually lives further away than we do. But yeah, it's there. Henderson's just right next to Vegas, just like between Lenwood and Barstow, right? To put into California terms. But yeah, I want to check
suppose
this
that's
place
true.
out. Check this place out. Oh, they got
Oh,
one
of
on
course,
Pebble,
Green
dude.
Valley.
What?
Get out of here.
Pebble? Let's look at that on the map. Let's see where they
I
are.
like how they're both in Henderson. Get the fuck out of here. You put that shit downtown.
I don't know why it's showing ideal image Henderson. Let's see.
That's probably what it was.
Oh, 215 in Pebbles. This is kind of like by where my uncle lives.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice. It's actually not that far away from us. Huh. That's cool. Hope I didn't dox anyone. Good shit. Is there anything else we do for this podcast before we get out of here? I can't remember.
No, dude, that's it.
I think that's about it, right? Thanks for
Yeah.
watching. Watch us later. YouTube.com/@symbol Neon Pocket Dimension. You know, that's a thing. If you're not following us, subscribing to us on there, you should. YouTube.com/@symbol Neon Gaming Dimension. So we put our gaming shit. We're going to do another recording finally of Elden 3 this weekend on Sunday. So expect that content. And then, of course, Odd Valley, which we talked about. If you do want to watch this show live, Wednesdays, twitch.tv/Neon Pocket Dimension, you will see us do a podcast of some form. This week was Olympics. Next week, plan on doing cartoons from 2000s and 2010s. Basically, all the cartoons, Nickelodeons, like SpongeBob and Johnny Bravo and shit like that. I want to talk about that shit. We're going to do that next time. But guess what? I'll still be watching the fucking Olympics. It's going to be going on forever. It's going to be going on forever, Miguel. There's events that...
Not quite forever. Unless you're going to watch the Paralympics, too.
I might.
I don't think most people do.
I might.
People don't.
If I can, if they're on, I'll watch them. I see stuff on the calendar for next Wednesday. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it could be another 2
Makes
weeks. Could be another 2 weeks of this on top of the Paralympics. You know, I wonder if that adds to our gold count. Oh, we didn't. You know what? Before we get out of here, let's look at the medal count real quick. Olympic medal count at the moment at the exact moment.
We are seventh.
We are 7th in golds. Okay. If you're going by golds. All right,
But that's how it's ranked.
No, I don't care. I don't care. If you look at the most amount of medals,
we're winning.
U.S.
We have the least amount of gold.
But look, dude.
And if you're not number one, you're a loser.
If you're not first, you're last. No, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Look, we have the most silvers and bronzes on top of 5 golds. Come on.
We're still losing.
Come on.
You're ranked 7th.
All right. Well, apparently, America, you're not doing good enough. So try harder. Thank you.
We'll get there, I think. Hopefully, China's winning.
China does well in the gold, but don't. Japan is no slouch. Both of the skateboarding events I watched, they took gold, which was crazy, men and women's. But there's so much more to go. We're not even there yet. I bet we'll have a burst of golds. We're gonna get a burst of golds. Basketball. You know, we're still running volleyball tournaments, beach and regular. That's not over yet. And then, don't forget about so much more. Weightlifting hasn't even happened. I mean, come on. I can't wait.
There's still time.
The running, Mochi Squeeze said the running hasn't even started. And that's where we're really going to take a lot of golds. That's where we really excel. So, hell yeah, guys. Yeah, look. We got a gold in swimming and a silver in swimming. So, that's good. Guys, we love you. We'll see how many more golds we have next week. We'll do the fucking medal update next episode. Miguel, tell them something profound, and then we'll get out of here.
first, you're last.
That's not profound.